if you're a good
Some
looking
people
person.
get better with age.
That's true. I did get better with age.
Up to a certain point.
Thanks, babe. At what age did I start crumbling?
Oh, you haven't
physically?
declined. I just think you're like maintaining.
Me?
Yeah.
So I'm not getting hotter?
Oh, you maybe. Incrementally, not enough for me to notice.
We can move on.
Well, you've been great looking for a very long time.
Thank you. It's
Yes.
great. I'm just
Okay.
Welcome back to Stuff That We Like / Enjoy, at least at this point in time. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Christina.
Welcome to season 7.
Woo! Season 7.
7.
Long time coming.
Blew my ears out right there.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I got so excited. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Okay.
So season 7, babe, we made it.
Normally our seasons are 10 to 11 episodes long, but due to the extreme length / complexity of the book of Enoch and our Enoch episodes, season 6 was 6 months long.
Yeah. That thing was all the Lord of the Rings books put into one.
There we go.
It was a long season.
It was wild. But now we're back seeing y'all for season 7.
Season 7, baby.
Yep.
All right. And to kick it off.
Yes. An update on our challenge that we're doing, our listener challenge.
Yeah.
Which is to read the Count of Monte Cristo in 30 days.
Yes.
How's that going for you?
It is going pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I burned through like, I'd say I'm on 15 hours into the book.
Okay.
Since we're listening to it. I'm at the 15-hour mark. And it is super entertaining. Very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading it a long time ago. But I went a little quick. I went too quick, I think.
You consumed too much at one time.
Yes.
Okay.
And I got to a part that's pretty, it's not necessarily dry, but it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
It's kind of a side story that leads into the main story.
Mm-hmm.
And the side story is so long that you're like, when are we going to get back to the real story?
Okay.
And so I'm a little bit lost right now and a little bit frustrated. I just want to get back to the main story.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Yes.
But I feel that way because I've consumed so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
If I hadn't consumed so much of it before, then I'd be like, okay, well, this is just the way he writes. But since I know he's a great storyteller, I want him to get back to the main plot
Like,
so we
get
can finish
back
the
to
story.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and I've always been a guy who likes to just do the main story, especially playing video games. Don't do the side quests. Just do the main story. Get to the good stuff.
I get you.
How's it going for you?
Going good. I was quite a bit behind. But I think as of today, I am close to caught up to where I should be, which is like a couple chapters a day.
Very nice.
I think I figured out 4 chapters a day.
Okay.
So I got through like 8 today. So
It's really
I think
good.
I'm back caught up. But I kind of feel you. There was a moment where I was like, let's get back to the story. Is anything, like what's going to happen? And then I hit chapter 20. I was like, woo, everything got super awesome again. So
Yeah.
just kind of the ups and downs, but an excellent book overall.
Yes. Excellent book.
Yeah.
So,
and we want to
trucking away.
hear from you, our listeners. If there's any of you out there who are attempting to read or listen to The Count of Monte Cristo or watch the movie, I mean,
Yes.
that's like a heroic attempt as well.
Yes. That's a good one. It's like an hour 45, I think.
There we
if I
go.
remember
It's a
correctly.
commitment in this day and age.
It is a commitment in this day and age.
That's like 5 episodes of The Office, close to
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a good read though. So we're trucking through, and this week,
Yes. I'm going to ask you what's something that you like / enjoy.
so something I like / enjoy is not necessarily a topic
Okay.
that I've been investigating. It's something that I've done recently, and that is how did 100 days of no YouTube change my life?
Wow.
Yeah,
How did 100 days of no YouTube change your life?
great question.
Thank you.
Christina. They're wrong about what they say about you.
About me?
No,
Who says things about me?
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
We secretly have these like hate listeners that leave horrible comments about me that you're like deleting in the middle of the
I'm just
night.
deleting. Yeah, but there's so many.
Well, there could be. I
God.
never look at the comments on anything in general. So I could have a whole crowd of people out there who don't like me. And I'm like, I wouldn't even know.
No, you're fine. Well, that's the way to go through life, honestly. Yeah. Just put your art out there. Who cares what people say about it?
Completely unaware. Yeah. If people are like helpfully coach you in a certain direction, ignore them.
If your art is to draw on the wall with poop, do it. And don't listen to the haters. Put that art out there.
Where are we putting this? Seems like a health safety matter.
I mean, you start at your home,
Okay.
obviously. And then if you're commissioned to do some scat art anywhere else, move up in the world
Okay.
from your scat art. Yeah.
All right. So go for your dreams. Shoot for the
Yes,
stars.
that's what I'm saying. Thank you for
Paint with
translating
the
for me.
poop.
Paint with your poop. Paint with your poop, everybody. Anyways.
All right, back to your premise. How did not watching YouTube for 100 days change your life? Tell me about this.
So a little bit of the history of why I decided to do this in the first place. So we usually do challenges throughout the year. As you know,
Yes.
you're one of the people that does the challenges. One of the challenges I decided to take on was 100 days with no YouTube. So let me start by saying I love YouTube so much. Maybe more than I love some family members. I don't know. I haven't investigated it thoroughly.
But just, raising the level.
It's
Yes.
just so high. The reason being, I am a huge cinephile. Like, I love media. I've grown up loving movies, loving story. And YouTube is just that, but short. Like, every video now is the ones that I watch are very high quality.
Okay.
And the people that I follow put out really high quality, cinematic, inspirational stuff, as well as watching movie trailers or video game trailers. That just gets me hype. And
Okay.
I just
Excites
love
you.
doing that. Yeah. So all that to say, for the first 30 to 40 days, it was not easy.
So you just decided, I'm not going to do this for 100 days.
Yes.
Okay. And what provoked that?
We had been feeling a little bit unhealthy in some areas in our lives. Remember, part of the 100-day challenge we were trying to do together was for food and for exercise. And I remember noticing that YouTube was kind of sneaking its way into my quiet times. Like, I would get on YouTube to turn on some music. They have really good like cinematic tracks on there,
Okay.
some soaking music or whatever. And I would get on there for like 10, 15 minutes and I only have like 5 more minutes for Jesus.
Okay. So you were sitting down to like read the Bible and you're like, let me pick the perfect YouTube soundtrack background.
Yes.
And then you're like out of time.
Yeah. 5 movie trailers later, I'm out of
Okay.
time. Yeah, so I'm not just looking for music. It turns into watching
The algorithm
actual
was like,
YouTube
hey,
videos.
you want to watch this? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't wait to see how corn is made or whatever's on there that day. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So the first 30 to 40 days into this challenge were actually pretty hard. I felt kind of lost when I
Okay.
had free time, not necessarily knowing what to do with myself. And I was pretty anxious when I was alone or like had time to think. That was like 30 to 40 days of that.
Okay,
And so
wow.
I was like, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe I'm just a
Without
really...
YouTube, this is who I am. Yeah. A little nervous, sad boy.
But then I had days like 40 to 70. I began to notice that I was okay not knowing what new movies or games are coming out. That's pretty rare for me. And also my days, it's hard to describe, but there's just a little bit more color in everything that I would like hear or listen to or see outside or just like in nature or in art. Like there's just a little bit more color I was noticing. And I'm not sure if that had to do with the healthy food we were eating or exercising more or if it was just like getting rid of YouTube. But
Yeah.
I would contribute it to YouTube because it wasn't doling my senses as much.
You were like, yeah, I feel like YouTube, you can scroll through the algorithm, watch this video, and you were mentioning it's like high quality videos you're watching, probably very well produced. It can be, I feel, a little overstimulating at times, and you just get used to that constant stimulation. So maybe that was removed for a while, and you were like, feeling that itch, that missing that, and then you got used to not having something all the time and could enjoy nature or the color of life, as you mentioned.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think there's even a podcast I can think of off the top of my head. It's called Modern Wisdom, but it's a cinematic podcast. Like, it's pleasing to look at and to watch. The guy has like giant, building size LED walls behind him that he changes into landscape environments throughout the podcast.
Oh, cool.
Depending on what they're talking about. And so it's actually really engaging to watch.
Not just listen to watch.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. And so to not have, like you're saying, not have that kind of visual stimulation while I'm at the same time I'm listening to a podcast. I don't know. I felt like I could notice a little bit more, like I said, color in life because I wasn't constantly being stimulated by whatever YouTube video I was watching because it is so high quality,
Right.
like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I felt for probably the first, probably days 40 through 70.
Okay.
Like it started to pay off and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I am addicted. Maybe I was addicted and maybe this was a really good move
Go
for
through
me.
some withdrawal. Yeah.
Totally.
Well, and how many hours, you can continue, but how many hours a day do you think you were either listening to or
man.
watching YouTube videos? Because,
Man.
you could have it playing in the background. You're not just solely watching it.
Totally. I have to admit something pretty embarrassing here. I watch Let's Plays, which is it's commentary over video games. So
it's people playing a video game and they're talking
yes,
about it. Okay.
and it's fun for me because I don't have to buy the video game. I can just watch them play it, and it saves me a lot of money in the long run. And they're entertaining to listen to. And so through watching those Let's Plays or listening to them while I was like cooking or doing some other activity, I was probably consuming like 2 hours of YouTube a day.
Okay. That's not as much as I thought you were going to say.
Well, it's not on top of, think about it, on top of watching my shows and TV
Right.
every single day. So that was probably like 4 to 5 hours of media a day.
That adds up. Yeah.
So I'd come home from work and it would just be media all day because YouTube was thrown in there.
And your job is all media oriented. So you're literally editing videos, looking at a screen, listening to videos, listening to podcasts, come home, watch TV.
I know. Sounds super healthy, right?
It's a lot of screen time. It's a lot of blue light.
A lot of blue light. I wear like 4 pairs of blue light glasses
Stack
all
them up.
day. So it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. And I felt like it was a lot too. And it's funny you mentioned work. That was one of the things that was, it was difficult to work because I was watching so much YouTube. Like it was difficult to get into a work flow.
Right.
Because I was watching YouTube every 20 minutes. I'd be like, what is this? This reminds me of a video I want to watch. Like just something I was editing would remind me of a video. And so I'd go click on it and be like, then 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get back to work. What am I doing?
Right.
So I could never even get in like a good workflow. So not only was my mental capacity for peace and freedom suffering, but also my capacity to do work well was suffering.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So what happened after about day 70?
So day 70, I said I began to notice things were a little bit brighter. And then by day 80, I felt like I was finally fully disconnected from YouTube. Like I hardly thought about it and I could care less what was on there, with the exception of this podcast.
There we go.
Just so you know, people
Keep
watching.
listening, people. Stuff that we like.
We're on Spotify. If everybody takes a break from YouTube, we're on Spotify.
Just listen to us. You don't have to watch.
Yes.
You can watch us on YouTube and just turn the screen off.
That's true.
Just listen.
Our video is on Spotify, though. So you just watch us on Spotify.
That's true.
That's how you get around it.
Oh, sneaky.
So at day 100, I felt super accomplished. This was not an easy challenge for me because I think I minimized how much YouTube was in my life and how much of a problem it was because we're so healthy in general. And I say that not as a prideful person, but just as somebody who doesn't ingest the amount of media that a normal person usually does.
We just don't have the time for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I managed to find time to listen and watch to YouTube.
Yeah.
On the side, and I didn't realize how much it impacted me. So this is a huge accomplishment for me. I felt really, really good at 100 days, and I felt like my willpower had grown, And I'd also understood a little bit more about how media can sneak in and literally steal your life from you. Steal your joy, steal your happiness.
Yeah.
Steal a little bit of the brightness out of your day, which is kind of scary.
That is sad.
Yeah. Your life is a little bit more gray because you're sacrificing it to YouTube or to social media or to movies or shows.
Yeah.
It's tough to think about. And we just kind of accept it. We're just like, that's the way things are, But I felt good at the end of it. And I was like very, very proud of myself. So I'd encourage anybody out
days.
there.
It's over 3 months.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Sorry, you were going to encourage.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely a long time. I would encourage people to do it. Take a look at, how much time you're spending on it. It may not be a lot, but throughout the day, count all that time up and then add that up throughout the year and see how many days you're wasting on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I can't even count. I probably could count up the days I've spent on YouTube,
right.
but it's really depressing too.
It's a lot. It's a lot of time.
It's super. Yeah.
Huh. So once you finished your 100 days, how did that go? Like starting to watch YouTube again? What did that look like?
I was very cautious.
Okay. I'm a little afraid.
Yeah, I was a little bit afraid because I had known where I've been. I really didn't want to get stuck in it. And right now we're doing a media fast. So I'm not really having to worry about it right now. But yeah, I definitely, I don't allow it in my quiet times anymore. I don't allow it during work. And in the evenings, I really have had to limit it because it's been something that had such power over me that for 30 to 40 days, I was actually like anxious because I didn't have it. That's an addiction.
Yeah, just noise going on in the background.
That's an addiction.
Yeah.
And I don't want that in my
It's
life.
an addiction. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody out there, do it. Absolutely. Cool. I would highly recommend it.
That's great. And how do you feel like not watching YouTube for, 100 days is different than like not watching TV or movies? Do you feel like there's a difference between the two?
Yes. Yeah, I feel YouTube is much more of a passive thing to do. So it's sneakier than watching a show or watching TV or a movie. Because a movie is like, you have to tell somebody you watched a show or a movie last night, We don't tell them that you also watch 50 minutes of YouTube in bed.
And it was 8 different videos.
Yeah, it was 8 different videos because that slips your mind. That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But that's still 50 minutes of your life. That's still a little bit of color out of your life.
Interesting. Huh. That's true. I was in Virginia visiting my brother over Christmas break. And at the Airbnb, I logged into my YouTube on the smart TV and didn't remember to log out when I left. And I was looking at my phone at the algorithm, and I had seen that over a period of 2 hours, somebody at the Airbnb had watched a ton of baseball videos. First of all, it threw my algorithm off. I found a way to delete them. But it struck me that it was on a Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m., this person watched YouTube videos on baseball for 2 hours straight.
2 hours.
And it was like Christmas Eve day. I'm like, that's wild.
That's so
And yeah, I've done the same thing. I don't ever just sit and watch YouTube, maybe occasionally if I'm eating lunch or something, but I do play it in the background, while I'm doing chores and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And while I might not go through, it was 14, 50 baseball videos, I could get through a bunch of, 10, 15 minute news clip, kind of videos.
Yes.
Or it's amazing how much you can consume quickly. And at least I'm guessing this is a guy who's watching the baseball videos. At least he's stuck to one topic. I think, he was focused on something. But I think another thing that can be the problem with YouTube is we're splitting our attention in so many different directions, where I could be listening to, a video on this and then something completely different, whereas at least with a movie or TV show, you're kind of in the same world or, concept for a bit. So I feel like it's fragmenting our attention span. Like if a video is, 45 minutes, I'm like, I'm going to click on the 12-minute one on the same topic,
For sure. And it's interesting you say that, it is very bite-sized chunks of information. So we justify it.
Right.
10 minutes of information plus 10 more minutes of information.
Yes.
And then, 5 more clicks. Well, you've just watched a movie.
Yeah. That's
You
crazy.
literally, like the guy who watched 2 hours of golf, he watched a feature length film
Yes.
worth of golf videos. And it's really cool, all that information out there, but you just cluttered up your mind. You just stole a little bit of color out of your life because of all the vibrancy and all the clickbaity stuff that you were exposed to right then.
Yeah, and the guy, he wasn't out there playing the game. He was watching other people play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be careful.
I know. You can get deep with that. Well, that was an interesting thought, babe.
Yeah, I appreciate
Anything else to end with?
Yeah, I would just say it doesn't have to be YouTube.
Okay.
I think everybody knows this. It doesn't have to be YouTube that you take a break from, but just audit your life. Figure out what is stealing your time, what is stealing your mental capacity, and put a stop to it. You life is very short. You know, we're both 31. You're about to turn the big 3-2.
What?
I'm very proud of you. It's coming up. But the older we get, the more we realize like time goes so fast. And to waste it on YouTube is such an injustice. And it's such a, I'll end it with an injustice. You should really be living life.
Yeah.
So audit your time, figure out what's taking your time, and get rid of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're popping in here mid-podcast to... Hello. To remind you guys to, if you're not already, subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, leave a comment, all that good stuff helps more people find us in the algorithm and lets us know that you guys are there and enjoy what we're talking about. We'd also love for you guys to write in to stuff that we like, podcast@gmail.com, or leave some comments in our Instagram, which is Stuff That We Like Podcast as well, about future topics that you'd love for us to do. We like the topics we come up with, obviously, but also have had some great suggestions from our listeners on topics that you're interested in us covering as well. So go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe, leave the comments, and back to the show.
Also, one more thing before we get back to the show. Write in challenges.
Yes.
I forgot to mention this, but challenges. We're doing one from Libby, a good friend of Christina's right now, reading the Count of Monte Cristo. But we would love to do listener recommended challenges. So if you had anything you'd like us to do for 30 days, 60 days, maybe 100 days, and see what happens to our lives, write it in.
Yeah.
And we'll give it a shot.
And it can be, exercise related, habit related, book, a movie, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Some, get creative.
Yeah. All right. Back to the show.
And back to the show.
Now to our next newest segment we're super excited about.
Yes, for season 7, we are going to be doing
Legend Lowdown.
The Legend Lowdown.
That's right. You say it at the same time, or you say it separately?
Okay.
The Legend.
The Legend.
We could do Legend or...
Just so y'all know, we workshopped about 20 different names for this.
Us and Grok were having a powwow before this. Ready?
The Legend
Lowdown.
Are we saying...
I'm messing with you. We can move on. So the Legend Lowdown. This is where we're going to talk about characters and myths and legends from history and go a little bit deeper as to their origins. So Christina, today on the Legend Lowdown, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so as Kayla mentioned, we're going to be covering primarily legends, kind of stories that have been passed down through history. And rather than going crazy in depth on the legends, we're going to take turns, introducing them and then kind of talk more about the concept and how it affects our worldview or has affected culture. So the legend that I'm going to be starting this Legend Lowdown segment with is the Fountain of Youth.
Okay.
Yes.
Fountain of Youth.
So the legend of the Fountain of Youth is pretty simple. It's that there is somewhere on Earth a magical fountain or spring of water that if you find it and drink of this water, your youth will be restored. So aging will be reversed. And not only that, the legend also says that it may make you immortal. So not only will you become young, but you'll be young forever.
Young and hopefully hot.
Well, it restores you to what you looked like in your youth.
That's why I said hopefully.
Yeah.
If you're a good-looking person.
Some people get better with age.
That's true. I did get better with age.
Up to a certain point.
Thanks, babe. At what age did I start crumbling?
Oh, you haven't
physically?
declined. I just think you're like maintaining.
Me?
Yeah.
So I'm not getting hotter?
Oh, you maybe. Incrementally, not enough for me to notice.
We can move on.
Well, you've been great looking for a very long time.
Thank you. It's great. I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Also, some variations of the legend of the Fountain of Youth don't entail drinking of the water, but rather bathing in the water or dunking oneself in the water, particularly in the nude.
What
Yes.
about a little Fountain of Youth enema?
That I did not come across in any of my research.
Okay. I think it would work.
Yeah, so to sum it all up, there's a fountain or spring of water, could be a river, could be a pond. Has to be fresh water, though, generally in the legends, where if you find it and drink it or swim around in it, you will become young and immortal.
All right.
Yeah.
Young and immortal.
Yes.
So you're talking about you're talking about just sitting in some water,
Or drinking it.
but you have to find this specific water.
Yes.
Has there been anybody in history who has claimed to have found the Fountain of Youth?
Not that come up in my research. There is somebody who was said to be looking for it,
Okay.
which is Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
Have you heard about him?
It sounds familiar.
Okay, so the legend, it's what I remember reading about in, I don't even want to say history books. Well, he was a historical person. Obviously, the Fountain of Youth isn't a real place that we know of. But Ponce de Leon was a Spanish conquistador. So pretty much somebody who went in and kicked butt and took names and in the name of the Spanish crown took over people's lands.
I had no idea what a conquistador actually
Yes,
was.
he
It was
conquered.
like a warrior?
Kind of
Warrior?
like, he was a general type of a thing.
A general warrior?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much that would go and explore new places and be like, I have put my foot here and now this is Spain's.
Okay.
And too bad, you who lived here before. So anyways, he made it to the Bahamas and Cuba and all of that and landed upon Florida in 1513. While Christopher Columbus, like growing up, we heard that he made it to America. He likely just made it to some islands, whereas Ponce de Leon actually made it to Florida. So popular stories emerged from there that he was searching for the Fountain of Youth. But historians now widely agree that Ponce de Leon never was actually searching for the Fountain of Youth. There's no documents from his lifetime, like any of his royal contracts or his letters or any very detailed expedition records that mention this Fountain of Youth. But he was mainly interested in claiming land, finding gold, and like new territories for Spain.
Now, it is a little bit ironic to be searching for the Fountain of Youth in Florida, one of the worst places in the U.S., and definitely full of the most old people. So it's a little bit ironic to have the Fountain of Youth.
Right?
Maybe they're all
Although,
looking for it. I don't know.
500 years ago, I don't think there was many people living in Florida. And it wasn't until after his death that the legend of him searching for the Fountain of Youth began. So some people even think that he wasn't very well liked among other Spanish conquistadors
really?
and stuff. He got some like good honors. He was like the first governor of Puerto Rico, things like that. And so it's kind of like he was just, all that he, accomplished was that he was looking for this Fountain of Youth he never found. So it's kind of like poking jabs at him post-death, speaking ill of the dead, which
But he did.
I'm all
He
for
did
it.
other. Speaking of the dead, which I'm all for. That's funny. He did other things in his life, though, but he's known primarily for searching for the Fountain of Youth.
exactly like that, just the legend started and people are like, oh yeah, that Spanish guy was out in Florida walking around looking for the Fountain of Youth.
500 years before anybody lived there.
Well,
Did
no,
you say?
I'm sure people lived in Florida. It just would have been tribal people. It wasn't settled by the Spanish.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So 500 years before now is
Yes.
what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's what I was saying, is that 500 years ago, there weren't just a bunch of old people
Yes. That's what I was
sitting in the
trying to
villages
connect.
in Florida. Yeah.
For sure. Well, good thing.
Yes. Yeah, so he's the most famous story tied to the Fountain of Youth, but again, there's no evidence that he was looking for it, nor did he find it.
Now, if you were to look for the Fountain of Youth, do you think it would be for vanity reasons or for honorable reasons? Like honestly searching for a way to stay younger. What would be your reason behind that?
I wouldn't care so much about staying younger as being like physically healthy, like in appearances wise, but to be out of physical pain, to heal, things like that, I think I would care about. And then if more people could experience that too.
Yeah.
Matters how big that fountain is, though.
That's very true.
Are we going to drink it up? Is it always, ration it out, And what would be like your kind of inspiration in finding it?
It's tough. It's tough not to go just straight up vanity. That's my initial gut feeling. It's like, I want to be young and I don't want to die.
Right.
I don't want the pain of death. So that would be probably be something I would need to get over. But I can't think of any good reason I would want to live more than like 2 lifetimes. So
Yeah.
to be eternally alive seems more like a punishment.
On this earth, if it's not going to change.
Yeah. I guess you could get shot or get a disease or something, right?
Well, the thing, I think you wouldn't die of like sickness related things,
So get
according to
shot,
the legend. Yeah, I mean,
maybe?
if you fell off a cliff, I believe that you would be no more, but immortal in the sense of not getting sick or something.
Yeah. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could really like do some Rambo type stuff until you died.
Yeah.
So nobody from our age has actually tried to find this though.
Not that, I mean, I'm sure there's some, random people out there, but there wasn't anything that I could really find that's like, oh, there's this big effort in the 80s to find the Fountain of Youth. But would you like to know a little bit about where the legend started?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because pretty much every major culture has some sort of a story about the Fountain of Youth, or a water that will make you immortal, or this plant that you eat that will give you life forever. But related specifically to a Fountain of Youth, Greek historian Herodotus. I even practiced saying this.
Herodotus?
Yes, Herodotus.
Herodotus.
Herodotus. Herodotus.
Herodotus.
Is that right?
Herodotitis.
It's Herodotus. Herodotus.
Heroditis.
There's no I.
Herod
O.
Otis.
Yeah.
Herodotus.
When I read it the first time, I knew how to pronounce it. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he was a Greek historian from about the 5th century BC, so 2,500 years ago. And he wrote about a special fountain of water that gave the Somalians of Africa extraordinarily long lives. So in what is now current day Somalia, he believed that there was a fountain that made them live for a very long time.
Okay, so not something that caused them to be immortal.
No.
But live a long time.
Yes, and he was a historian, so
Okay.
he wrote this with like historicity.
Herodotus. Yes. He wrote this. Herodotus wrote this.
About 100 years later, Alexander the Great was said to have searched for a healing river of paradise.
Okay.
And that is documented in some historical writings from the time. So he at least was looking for it, allegedly. The idea of the Fountain of Youth became very popular in the Middle Ages, which is interesting. There's a ton of artwork from that time, and it's always depicted as like there's a swimming pool of water. And in the art on the left side of the art is some old wrinkly people, and then a bunch of people swimming in the pool and in the nude. Guess you swam in the nude. And then on the right side of the pool, people getting out, and they're all looking all fresh and healthy. So it was kind of really portrayed as more of a swimming pool kind of a situation.
Were they hot?
Well, I mean, it's like 700-year-old pieces of work. It's a little blurry. They're very modest,
Yeah, that's true. They're robed. They come out robed.
Yes. And people think that this might be a commingling of these ancient stories of a Fountain of Youth and in the Bible, because Europe was very Christianized for a good portion of time. In the Bible, there's a story of the Pool of Bethesda.
I just read that today.
Where this Pool of Bethesda was in Jerusalem. It was like a bathing pool. And it was said to be stirred up by an angel. And whoever got into the pool first was healed of whatever was wrong with them. So this is a literal historic account that people would wait by this pool of water who were sick, infirmed, lame, crippled. And they would even have people waiting with them to like toss them in the water first when the water got stirred up. And people would get healed when they hopped in this pool of water. So people think this Middle Ages art was kind of a connection between, okay, this sounds really cool, fountain of life, water somewhere, and this actual historical story in the Bible of people getting healed when an angel touched the water in Jerusalem.
Wow.
So that's a lot of what kind of the art's portraying.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like that was a real thing. Mm-hmm. And that was happening before, I don't know if it was before Jesus was born, but that was happening during his lifetime.
Yeah.
An angel was stirring the waters of that pool of Bethesda.
Yeah.
I think it also could connect back to when Jesus says, I am the water of life.
Yeah, I was going to get into that.
Yeah.
Very
so
interesting.
You go for it.
Well, it's cool because as I was mentioning, I'll finish up a couple other things. Other cultures like Asia, Africa, the Caribbean all have these ideas of there being a water that heals you or makes you immortal. And people in the Caribbean told sailors in the 16th century, so around the time when Ponce de Leon was traveling around, that there was restorative waters on the land of Bimini. So there was this island out there that have great wealth and prosperity. And to this day, there's actually an island called Bimini in the Bahamas. The Fountain of Life isn't there. But a little connection of why maybe people thought Ponce de Leon was looking for that because he landed in Bimini in the Bahamas and things like that. So these Caribbean people had this, cultural idea of there's a land out there where there's water that gives you life forever. And even in Islamic tradition, which came much later, they have a story called Water of Life, where there's a spring of water that's said to grant immortality if you make it to it. Many other religions as well had some sort of aspect of there being water, or even like ambrosia and nectar were the food and the drink of the gods in mythology that would made the gods, I guess, live forever kind of a thing.
Wow.
So now it's interesting when you get into Christianity, where Jesus talked about he was the one who gave the water of life. And that he is the fountain of living water. And even in the book of Revelation, it speaks 2 different times of this river of the water of life running through New Jerusalem that brings life forever. So it's kind of cool to me that people have since, the 5th century for sure, BC, been searching for or have this idea of being water that makes you live forever.
The 5th century BC.
Yeah.
That's insane. So that was probably before the pool of Bethesda was there.
Yeah, because Jerusalem wasn't built then.
Yeah.
They were in Babylonian captivity, the Jews.
So there had to be another instance where that pool of life or fountain of life was somewhere.
Yes.
Another instance of the pool of Bethesda. And then for so many cultures to latch onto it enough to where when Jesus says, I am the water of life, everyone would know what he was talking about. Seems pretty, wow. It seems just astounding.
Yeah.
To consider every culture would have knowledge of some sort of fountain or river of life, and then enough to where Jesus said, I'm the river of life, or I'm the water of life.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I get it. That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty cool. And I think there's also a little bit of a connection back to, in the book of Genesis, God creates mankind and he puts Adam and Eve in particular in the Garden of Eden. And in the garden is the tree of life. And so many, like I mentioned, if these religions or different cultures, if they don't have a history or a legend about there being a water that brings life, there's a fruit that brings life.
Yeah.
Kind of connecting the two. And if you think about these Caribbean cultures or even far down into Asia, they would have no connection with Europe, with the Middle East. They would, in a sense, a little bit, for sure, not like Caribbean islands. And they had this longing or idea in their heart of a place where there was water that made you live forever.
Yeah. That is so wild.
Kind of cool. So it just shows that there really is like this longing for eternity in the hearts of man. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because we're all made, we're made to live eternally. Yeah. Our souls will live on eternally unless.
That's another topic.
Yeah. I forgot the word for it.
Annihilationism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're an annihilationist.
Okay. I just thought you were being coy.
No. I just couldn't recall the word. It is interesting because we're all longing for that. We're all wanting that. And then to find things here that have the possibility of giving us that becomes people's like greatest desire in the moment. Enough so that when Jesus said, I'm the water of life, everybody's like, I gotta have that. And I know what that is. Intrinsically, maybe they didn't even, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe every culture didn't understand what the fountain of youth was, but they knew.
Right.
I want that and I need that. I need that eternal life.
Yeah. We have a desire at least to live forever or not die, or to be young, to not be aging, to not be suffering in our bodies. And very interesting. Would you like to know where you could go visit the Fountain of Youth today?
Let me know.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy, you know.
Yes. It is in St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah. So
Conquistador was right.
Yes. So you can go visit the Ponce de Leon Fountain of Youth Park in St. Augustine, Florida, where it only costs you $23 to get in.
What?
And you can see the legendary site where allegedly Ponce de Leon landed in Florida and found the Fountain of Youth. And you can drink from what visitors describe as sulfur-tasting water from a natural spring for the little cost of $23.
It can be good for you.
It could be. Yeah, it was apparently started by, there was this lady in the late 1800s who was a doctor and got tired of being a doctor and was super wealthy. And she purchased this plot of land and started a theme park of sorts, advertising that Ponce de Leon landed here. And you can come visit the Fountain of Youth, and it has remained a tourist attraction for the last 130 years.
I would love to be so rich. I could just get tired of doing what I'm doing to get rich.
Yeah.
And go and start like a mythical amusement park.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we can actually go visit the Fountain of Youth.
Yes, which I was like, hey, if I'm ever traveling through Florida, I'm going to stop by here. But then I found out it was $23. And I'm like, I don't know if I care that much.
Yeah, that's way too much. And you have to go to Florida. So.
Right.
I've never been to Florida. It might be great. I don't know.
Probably parts of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah.
Wow. Did you have anything else?
Growing up, I thought that there was more historical connection to it than from what I'm reading, in the sense of I really thought there was somebody who was searching for it, probably Ponce de Leon.
Oh, interesting.
And it seems that there hasn't ever been any sincere historical efforts to go find it.
Makes sense.
In a big way.
Yeah.
But I just found it really interesting, as I mentioned before, just to sum this up. So many different cultures, so many different religions have this idea of searching for either water or fruit that will make you live forever and heal everything wrong with you.
It's interesting. Yeah. I wonder if it's because there's proof of that in history, in what'd you say, 5,000 BC? That's when they started.
500 BC.
500 BC. I wonder if there's actual proof of it, or if humans just intrinsically know that water and fruit are refreshing. Mm-hmm. And so they attach life to it.
We need, food.
Yeah. So I wonder.
Mm-hmm. And I think with the fruit aspect, there's a lot of it connected to the book Adam of Genesis, that kind of a thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, it's I'm going to get this wrong, but it's an ancient religious text that's dated to around the time that the book of Genesis was probably written. We don't really know that for sure when it was written or who wrote it. But they have a story of there being a fruit that grows underwater that if you find, you will live forever. So just this
Ooh.
really, ancient connection too, which I'm like, is that because the tree of life got flooded?
Yeah. Oh.
It's down there somewhere? I don't know.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's under the
Whoa.
ocean.
Yeah. Like that's the way God wanted to protect it, was after the flood.
Right.
Interesting.
Just sunk it way down deep. But yeah, I just find it fascinating, just the kind of searching for this water.
Yeah.
And then Jesus came, he's like, hey, I'm the water. I don't know.
We just saw a video on Instagram of a girl who was like in the ocean and almost got eaten by a whale by accident.
Yes.
Like the whale was eating. And
Yep,
she
came
just
up
happened to
for
be
a
there.
swarm of fish and
Yeah.
almost took her out. Yeah.
That being said, I will never search for the fruit under the sea. It's
Would
not
you
worth
search through the Everglades though for the Fountain of Youth?
Heck no. I'm going to die, and I'm going to die old. Like,
Yeah.
I know for sure. And I'm just going to accept it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be for vanity that I would search for that.
Yeah.
No other reason. I don't know that anybody could have a good reason. What do you think anybody could have a good reason to live forever?
Oh man. I mean, maybe to like help people. If you're like, I can teach people the way. But even then, it's thinking that you could save people. It's like we can help people, but not one person can change all of humanity.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty disheartening to live for past a couple hundred years.
Man, me too.
Yeah. I think just like we were talking the other day about people that hope that the world is just going to like get better. And I'm like, it's kind of not, I think there's a lot of things about the world that has gotten better. But a lot of things have gotten worse. And I feel like we go through these cycles in history where like things are a lot better in one area and a lot worse in the other. And just these continuous trade-offs and cycles. Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah. It's definitely not getting better.
Yeah.
Morally, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of a reason that somebody would want to live forever for honorable reasons.
Right.
Unless, and this goes back to what Carson was talking about last time he was on the podcast. It's like one of the things that we're supposed to live for is a calling or a work bigger than us. Mm-hmm. And if the Lord had called you to go to the Fountain of Youth and be like, I want you to live forever so you could testify to the nations of my goodness, that would be a worthy reason. But then it wouldn't be your reason.
No, yeah.
So still the answer to the question is no person would have a good reason.
Yeah.
He would have a good reason for you.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, great topic.
Thank you.
There it is.
Very interesting.
Fountain of Youth.
So the Fountain of Youth, that is our first, what's the name of this segment? Legendary lore? Lore? No. What do we call it?
I don't even remember. I don't remember. Myths of legend?
No, it's something with 2 L's in it.
Lots of legends. Love legends.
It was something because I was trying to say T before it.
The Legend
Lowdown.
There
Yeah.
it is. Legend Lowdown. That's been the
Yes.
Legend Lowdown.
Yeah, we're professionals.
We're professionals, guys. Thank you for listening. Lastly, on this podcast, we like to tell you a couple things that we have going on. Christina is on Instagram at
See joyfully.
and I'm on Instagram at Caleb C Media. Contact me if you need video done, if you need audio done in regards to music made. I have music out there under Caleb Castaneda on Spotify.
It's great. I like it.
Thank you. It's lo-fi. I'm also putting out some instrumental, some orchestral stuff pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. We also have a podcast company called
Moodwave Media.
Sorry, it's not a podcast
That's how I
company.
was
It's a video
confused.
company.
There we go.
We do video for Christian businesses and nonprofits. And so if you need video done for your business or nonprofit, hit us up. Mm-hmm. We can do that at moodwavemedia@gmail.com. And also contact this podcast
Yes.
at
Stuff That We Like Podcast at gmail.com or on our Instagram, Stuff That We Like Podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's all we got, guys. Welcome to season 7.
Season 7 with the Legend Lowdown.
Legend Lowdown.
Yes. All right. And this has been Stuff That We Like /enjoy. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.